Welcome everyone to this Swedish episode of the Caravan Tour of Terror, a show that finds us touring the globe through the medium of horrific, chilling and disturbing entertainment. My name's Donald and I'm the driver on this quest. Joining me at my side, as always, with a road atlas on his lap and a burst blood vessel in his eye, is my navigator Ali. Say hello, Ali.
Hedge, Donald. I don't think it's hedge. I think it's high.
I'm sure they said cha a lot at the beginning of this film. Cha. Cha, man, cha. But then later on, they bust out the old hello, so I don't really understand.
Well, yeah. I don't know if this will get picked up in the recording, but this is how Google Translate says it.
Hey,
hey,
get away from me.
Hey.
This week, we're at the Naturist Campingen Alplanaben resort in Fagelmara, Sweden. I'm sorry for all that pronunciation. Which promises access to the sea for swims, a fireplace for barbecuing, and organised games like volleyball.
Are you a volleyball player?
I could be. I mean, I've not actually ever played, but I bet it's easy, right?
You bet it's easy?
Yeah, you just boop it over the net. It's fine, easy.
It's so hard.
Yeah, I assume from the name Naturist Campingen, it's about getting closer to nature of Sweden, which after a brief city break last week, I'm keen to do. Last week, about a month ago. And yet, looking around, it's lovely. There's even a sauna over there. Very nice.
A sauna?
A sauna. Yeah, you gotta, drink in the local customs. Oh, that man must have lost his shorts, because he's gone swimming, he's lost his shorts, because he's walking about completely the buff. That's weird.
Oh.
And I've got his local delicacy to try. Surströmming. You ever heard of surströmming?
No, I haven't. I'm not doing
Sour
it.
herring?
No.
What? It's fine.
No, I'm not. You're not opening that in the caravan?
No. It'll be lovely.
No, you're not.
I was reading about it. So during the production of surströmming, they get salt just enough so that the raw herring doesn't rot and allows it to ferment. After 6 months, it's delicious.
And you have to open it underwater.
Oh, right, okay. I'm sure that's just bollocks, probably. It's all PC gone mad. It's just, health and safety. Anyway, I'm not that hungry right now, so why don't we talk about this week's movie first, and then we'll dig into this later, shall we?
Yes, let's talk about this movie first to put off opening that tin as much as possible. Yeah, we're in Sweden. I'm not going to do the accent.
Sweden.
You. Yeah. Took us a month because we got stopped at the Norwegian border, so we had to go back through Denmark.
Yeah.
Finland looks lovely, so we better be there next week. So yeah, we're in Sweden too, because we were watching Weather. Weather. No, just weather. It's the English.
It's really fun to say words like that. It doesn't matter if it doesn't actually convey anything about it.
But you're offending both Swedes and Minnesotans, so it's just all bad.
Weather.
Yeah, Weather. It's a 2012 movie by Sonny Laguna and Tommy Wiklund.
Sonny and Tommy,
yeah. And do I get this out the way early?
Do you? I don't know. Do you?
It's The Evil Dead.
Yeah, we said that last time. Yeah, it's basically The Evil Dead. Basically The Evil Dead.
For those that haven't seen The Evil Dead, it's a movie where a couple, along with some of their friends, go into the woods to a cabin to get away and unleash a mysterious force upon themselves, which kind of causes them to bad things. Oh, bad things. So the main focus is the main couple, Albin and Ida.
I know you're going to make effort to remember and use all their names, but I'm not going to. Okay, I'm just saying up front.
Yeah, okay. You'll have a much worse time.
What? 7 or 8 characters? Easy.
That guy. Him. So Albin and Ida are planning a weekend away, and right from the get-go, I've got to say that Albin seems like a bit of a layabout dick.
Yeah, I'm sure I noted throughout most of the movie that he isn't particularly much of a character, and he makes bad decisions or no decision really quite a lot of the time.
We'll get to that. We will get to that later on. But for the start of the movie, it starts with them waking up in bed. Well, it actually starts with a man shooting his wife in the head, but that's a whole different thing. But the main story starts with those two in bed, and he's just kind of like, do you have to go to work? I think she was hinting that at like 7 a.m. she wanted him to get up and have sex with her. And I was like, no chance. Anyone in their right mind immediately wakes up in a work day and goes,
Well, speak for yourself.
I'm going to wake up my partner and just see if I can get some sex before I leave.
I mean, start off your day right.
Yeah.
Expend all your energy, then go fucking hell. Jesus.
Get it now, I don't have time for a shower.
I did note that it's very kissy. At the beginning
those
and
two
throughout.
Are no
very kissy.
It's those two are inappropriate, to be honest.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, he's like, oh, what are you doing today? And she's like, working, and he's like,
fucking.
I'm doing nothing.
Yeah,
I'm doing nothing. He literally, doing nothing. And she says, could you pick up some wine? We're going over to your parents. Can you pick up some wine? And he went, Dad's got some wine. And she's like, can you just pick up some fucking wine, you shit?
You're leaving the house anyway.
Fucking no.
At that dinner with the parents, there's a really good joke, understanding about a name, Ellen, and electricity. Oh man,
Because
they
the
laugh
words-
and they laugh about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
More than
honestly,
once.
I honestly was like, so Ellen must be a character that's going to come up later.
No, it's just
this is just a hilarious joke they wrote into their movie.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because the word electricity is Ellen or something close.
Oh Jesus, painful.
Anyway, onto what his dad does, which is control the power for each individual house in Sweden. So they're talking about this cabin that Albin's dad has found them, and his dad's like, and it's abandoned. And they're like, cool, we'll go stay there for a week.
I was confused. Yeah, I was very confused about that in general. The setup doesn't really make... The setup doesn't make a lot of sense. The setup for the original movie...
Dad? Yeah, I control each individual house's power, so I'll just turn the power on for you.
But the original... Which this is a remake of Evil Dead. So the original also didn't really have a lot of sense about setup. It was just a group of young, sexy teens going to a horrible, disgusting cabin, which actually barely had any So yeah, okay, fair enough. But
so have you ever seen? It's not Slither. It's the Danny Dyer horror movie.
Shrooms?
No,
Is he not in Shrooms?
no.
I know I thought he was in Shrooms.
He's not in Shrooms.
I think he's in Shrooms.
You can look it up. He's not. He's maybe like a bit part in Shrooms, but he's not.
Sorry.
in Shrooms.
He's in or he's not. If he's in the cast list for
Actually,
Shrooms.
he's not. He's not in Shrooms. Severance.
I have seen
and
that.
I quite like it. It's actually not the worst horror movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But I quite like the way they do the people ending up in a horrible,
Excuse me.
shitty
He's
cabin.
in another horror movie called Doghouse.
Did you say that one? No, you said Shrooms.
A man saddened by his divorce is taken by his male friend to a secluded village to get over it. But much to their dismay, the women in the village turn out to be cannibals with a hatred for men. That is probably dated very well. Doghouse.
With Danny Dyer in it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this one has moments just as bad.
Darling.
I really liked the conceit in which they got led into the house. And it's the same, this disgusting abandoned cabin. And they were on their way to this company
Conference.
retreat.
Yeah, that's
Company
right, yeah.
retreat, and it's they think it's the actual place that the place has booked them to stay, and the actual place is a bit further ahead.
But I thought that's what's happening in this as well.
No, well,
but it doesn't seem really clear because the character
So I have
does
issues
say,
with
"Oh,
the abandoned.
this is." Yeah, I'm sure a character says, "Oh, we weren't traveling for as long as I thought we were going to," or something, or something about this was.
It's a throwaway line.
Yeah, but this is. We
where
got
he
here quick.
says that was more than 3 miles.
No, less than.
More than.
Less than.
More than.
No, well, if it's more than, then my point doesn't make sense. Damn. Because if it was less than, then they've got to the. You know what I mean?
No, it was. That was more than
I
3
suppose
miles.
it could still have got lost, but I was like.
I mean, if it is, they don't hint to it, and I don't mean it bad. This movie doesn't hint at anything.
No, but well, yeah, I know. But my point is, in general, how would his father have found this abandoned house?
Yeah.
If anyone that goes into it immediately gets killed, so it can't be the right house, surely.
I don't think anyone that goes into it immediately gets killed. I just think.
Well, the evidence of the movie points otherwise.
Well, yeah, that's very true, actually. I mean, there's not blood on the walls when they get there.
Yeah, but who knows?
Does the demon come out and clean up after every day?
Listen, I'll talk about the demon later. Demon.
We'll talk about it later. But yeah, they you know, that is kind of why I was talking about it, is because the whole conceit of how his dad knows of this cabin and is able to turn the power on in one house, I was like, convenient and weird.
Yeah.
Who goes to an abandoned cabin?
Yeah, it didn't make sense in the originals either. I'm wavering. I suppose.
But at least in Evil Dead, and I'm not going to call it the original at the moment.
I'm gonna.
At least in the Evil Dead, they just went to a cabin. I could way easier see a bunch of 20-somethings just going to a cabin because it's cheap and abandoned, and making do, than their dad going, I know this great abandoned cabin that I can turn the power on. Like, that's where I just find it weird. Like, I think they were just trying to couch some more story and like backstory into it. Like, you know,
the backstory's handled very badly in general. We're getting way off topic. We've not even got to the house. I've got a note that says 10 minutes in, get to the house. Fucking hell.
But yeah, it's just it's an odd moment.
It does the setup
because then we've also got Ida's friend saying to Ida, "Your brother coming?
No? I want to fuck him.
Could you invite him so I can fuck him? I'll invite him, but don't fuck him."
Spoilers, he fucks a different girl within 5 minutes.
Spoilers, he's the worst.
No, he's not. He's definitely not the worst.
So I called him Captain Gap because throughout this entire movie, because through the first 5 minutes of his appearances, he basically looks like he's in a Gap commercial.
Yeah, he's an asshole, but he's also, until it doesn't serve the plot anymore, which I'll get to later, the most useful and pragmatic out of all of them. I'm not saying he's not an asshole.
Yes, but I also have issues with that.
Yeah, it's badly handled, but his selfishness actually comes in very fucking handy. And
it does.
He's actually
we'll get to that.
He's the hero for 80% of the film. Yeah, he is.
We'll get to that. You're way ahead of yourself.
I know.
Because at the moment he's Captain Gap and he's a massive dick.
He's a bit full of himself and he's a bit of a shagger. And the ladies are into it.
They really are.
They are.
It's like
50% of them, and 25% of them is his sister. So pretty good.
Yeah, it's fair.
You're just jelly.
I'm not jelly. I
jelly.
Hated him on sight.
You're
he is the
jelly.
worst. He is just the worst. I hated Captain Gap, whose name is Simon, by the way.
Yeah, you're the one saying you were going to refer to them by their names.
Yeah, this is the only one where I wrote down a name before the movie ended, and it's Captain Gap.
So we've got 7 young, sexy people. Yeah?
Yeah.
3 guys, 4 girls.
I mean, I'll say what you want about Captain Gap. He is handsome.
Yeah, you're jelly. 3 guys, 4 girls.
I'm handsome.
Albin is in a relationship with
Ida.
Then Ida's brother Simon. But other than Simon and Ida, they're all just pals, or they're just meeting
We've
for the
got
first time.
Marcus, who's Albin's pal.
Yes.
Then we have Marie, who is, you probably would have said Goth 1. And then Tova, which is
Emo,
Goth 2.
Emo 1.
Or, Emo lip ring.
Yeah.
And...
the girl that wants to get in Simon's pants, who's called
Linnea.
Linnea, yes.
Linnea.
Yeah, so 2 carloads, they're on their way.
Yeah. Separated by gender, as it should be.
They find the house, which we presume is the correct house.
I honestly presume it is the correct house.
I don't know.
Yeah, so...
It doesn't make sense. Let's not get into all that. And they see a weird guy.
Yeah.
Armed man.
Yeah, and once again, so you call him the hero of the movie. He is a stranger to this area, knows he's going to an abandoned cabin, and decides
fuckle.
Yeah.
How are you?
What the fuck do you and your gun want?
Yeah, he's pragmatic. He's like, right, there's a guy with a gun. I better show that we mean business.
He's a fucking idiot.
What does Albin do? He's a
just
soy
walk
boy.
Jesus.
I use that ironically. I'm just making sure people are aware. Anyway, Mr. Gunman, who was the guy at the start that shot a lady?
Conveniently called
Gunnar.
Yes.
He just fucks off into the woods. And then they can't get...
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That piece of shit.
Well, no, because that doesn't really make sense, but we'll get back to that later. So the house is big. It's not a little wooden cabin that's dilapidated. It's got 3 entrance doors for some reason, which they remark on and they never mention again.
Yep.
So, and it's multi-storied. It's a house. It's just a house in the woods. And they can't get in.
Has it gone upstairs?
Yeah. Yes. Remember, there's
Yes. No. Yep. Don't know why that blanked. Yes, it does have an upstairs.
Yeah.
Several things happen on the stairs.
Oh dear. Anyway, what's the name of Prankster? Prankster decides that the best thing to do would be to get Goth Girl to go into the house to prank everyone rather than him doing it himself. She goes in. It's dark as fuck. She can't see. He goes, use your eyes. She's like, use your eyes.
I found it. He's like, you go in.
Yeah.
You go, I'll
Be
give
really
you a
scary.
boost. And I was looking at that window going, you could definitely climb in after her. Yeah, you could definitely. Marcus is like, works out. Marcus is definitely the buffest of the 3 men.
Well,
and
Simon's pretty buff.
Simon's just taller. Marcus has like the sideways Yankees cap and the too tight t-shirt.
Yeah.
He works out.
Yeah.
And I was like, go in with her. Spook them together. Or fuck her. Would that not make more sense?
Yeah.
Rather than just being like, bye! Close the window behind you.
Yeah, close the window. And then she is wondering
Grabs
about...
a candle.
It's a little bit spooky in there. And then she sees...
So they're trying to pick the lock at the front door.
They can't get in.
And Marie sees a trap door on the floor.
Yep.
Opens it.
Yep. She's
looks
by herself.
Inside,
It's dark.
It is pitch black earthen tunnel with a ladder leading down. And just goes...
Actually, in the cellar, there's a light on. Which makes...
Oh, yes, it's glowing.
Yeah, there's a light on.
No, but I mean, like, you can't see the bottom.
Yeah.
It leads to darkness.
Yeah. But it is important that the light's on for later.
Yeah, it like glows from underneath the trap door.
I mean, number one, I wouldn't go into the cellar in a way. But I mean, even if I wasn't there by myself and there was a light on in the cellar, I wouldn't go down because I'm like, right, I'm in here by myself. I don't know what's happening. There might be a crazy person down there living there. They might fuck me up or something. Let's wait.
We earlier saw a man with a gun.
Let's wait until my pals are in here.
Oh my god!
This hilarious prank isn't worth it.
That's not where I would hide for the prank.
No, I don't even think she was hiding for the prank. I think she was just there's a light on.
Trap door, I'll just fucking go.
That's weird.
I didn't want to be in here in the first place, but I'll just go down this fucking hole. Yeah, like that decision was
one of, but probably not even the worst. And
No,
then
no, definitely
down
the
in the
worst.
cellar, she meets the horrible creature that's like covered in earth, caked in clay,
like some weird, weird
with
earthen creature
with
is the
cloud
best.
eyes, and then boom, you don't see anything more about that.
Then we cut back to got one of these 3 doors open.
The 3 doors literally don't come into it again. It's so
No.
weird. It must have
No.
just been whatever house they were filming had 3 doors. They're like, well,
It's so weird.
it's weird. They don't.
It's so weird.
They don't ever. We don't see what the other 2 doors lead to. They only ever use
No.
one door. I guess
They
the other
lead to
two
the
they
house.
yeah,
They just lead to the house.
different rooms in the house.
No, they lead to the house. You can see that corridor the corridor that she's tied up in is the corridor at the end
Oh,
of the,
is there a door there that they go past? Ah, right, I see it.
and I think it just
yeah,
slides.
yeah.
I was like, I honestly thought like it was, which is probably getting way ahead of it. But I honestly would have ended this movie with like no, like just because to get the 3 doors out the way.
Yeah.
I literally thought this movie was going to end with like, you know, it pans from the messy house outside and another couple walks in a different door and it's all clean, like something. I honestly thought it was going to come in of some weird door thing. No, it's just a weird house that they remark on has 3 doors and never comes up again.
Anyway, they get into
So
the
they
house.
get in,
Yeah, you carry on.
and they're all picking out rooms and stuff. And
Goth Girl's fine.
Not yet,
Okay.
because Linnea goes.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
With Simon, and Captain Gap's like, "This room's pink," and goes to walk out, and she's like, "Yeah, but what if we fucking here?" And he's like, "All right." So they open another door, like just they're searching through the house, and they open, and Marie's just there, and Marcus is like, "Yo, that was the funniest thing in the world."
She's
man.
just got a haunted look at her face.
Yeah, she's like distraught, and he's like,
She got you. We both got you good. I'm sure he says or something like that. We.
Ida opens the door and goes, "Ah." It's not like she screams. It's not. She goes, "Ah, Marie."
No. Yeah, it's almost just an expression of, oh,
Yeah.
you're
And
there.
Marcus is like, just like it's the best prank. High fives all round.
I think that shagging this situation is pretty brave because they don't seem to. Like, there's nothing to lock, and everyone's still in the phase of just
What?
exploring the house
Simon
and looking at
doesn't
all
give
the
a
rooms.
shit if his sister walks in.
And they're just like, let's actually really get down and fuck right here, right now. Literally, while everyone else is wandering around going, which room will I take, or whatever the hell, or oh, I'll
Well,
drop my stuff
everyone is
here.
exploring the house. Yeah.
Simon, what a guy, what a hero.
He's the worst. He's the actual worst. So they sit down to dinner. Drinks?
Yeah, the alien scene.
Yeah.
Drinks, yeah.
And
Yeah, it's a scene from Alien after someone's been infected when they're like, well, not really, because
So-
she's a bit like, ugh.
again, they kind of weirdly reference that they might be there for Marie at that point.
Oh, did it?
So he stands up to make a toast. And he's like, "It's been a while." And then he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he makes some weird comments about, you were meant to be in Tokyo, and now your life's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
sick burn, dude. Kind of uncalled for. Meanwhile, Marie is sitting like her eyes are dark and she's just not well.
Yeah.
And then she,
I don't feel so
yeah,
good.
and then she runs off to the bathroom and just vomits blood.
Yeah. Oh, well, she has a wee, and then she
Oh,
turns
sorry,
around. There's blood
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Then blood starts pouring out of her.
It's just blood from every orifice.
And then the best bit is, emo girl comes to the is she coming downstairs or something? Sees Marie standing there, clearly with blood all over her. Blood all over her. Like her mainly behind the neck and shoulders, caked in blood. Oh, Miri, are you okay? Miri, can I get Miri? Can I get past
for like a
please? Miri,
minute?
are you okay, Miri? Miri,
Oh
Miri.
no! She doesn't even say, "Are you okay?" It's just like, "Marie, can we go
No, she
downstairs,
doesn't.
Marie?" Marie.
Yeah, literally doesn't acknowledge.
Yeah,
or
Marie's
notice
standing
at all.
stock still on the stairs, like kind of like catatonic, and it's literally Marie
Covered in blood.
Marie.
For fuck's sake, Marie.
By this point, I would be concerned about you. I would have at least are you okay? Donald's not moving.
Oh, dear.
But no, she turns around and she's infected.
She's
Fucked up. She's got cloudy,
Her eyes are all
cloudy
cloudy
eyes,
and
she
she's all
bites.
zomboed. She's dead-eyed.
Bites Tova's lip off. Not the lip ring lip, the upper lip.
I
and
know. They really should have made it the lip ring
Nope.
lip.
she tears her top lip off and just...
Yeah, she gets fucked up. Yeah. It's a pretty good effect, although it's kind of spoiled because there's a weird cut in the edit where you can hear that they've not stitched together the audio properly.
There's a few ADR moments in this.
There's a little pop of total silence and then it literally happens in the cut where she does it, so I'm like, oh, that's annoying, but it's a good lip bite.
Oh
very
yeah,
nice.
the
And gross
effects in this do look very good.
Yeah, the effects, the gore effects are,
and there's a
very
lot
good,
of them.
yeah. There's a lot of them. There's a lot
lot of them.
And I'll mention that later. But
Certainly will. So yeah, she bites off Tova's lip, and then this is where shit just like goes fucking mental.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone crowds onto the stairs.
What's going on?
You know those.
Albin
you know those
comes in.
stairs.
What's happening? Yeah. The stairs. They come into
Oh my
it.
god, Albin walks in like.
Hey guys.
I don't know. Someone's dropped a glass.
Yeah. Whereas Simon, the hero, comes in and immediately starts beating the shit out of her.
Right.
Get down.
It's a bit quick. He literally walks in and spots her and just goes, "What the fuck?" and punches her. Like it's
Brilliant. Then they tie her up, which to all makes sense. They bandage.
no. Then Simon gets on top of her, punches her
Yeah.
several times,
Yeah.
and then goes, "Get something to tie her up with,"
Fucking-
and then keeps punching.
yeah. And this is the hero.
Then they tie her onto a onto two door
Yeah.
handles, which have bits that you can just slip.
I know. Not only that, but if they're door handles, they move anyway. Plus, she's sitting down. If she stood up, she'd have much more space to. It's all really. It's really shit effort. It's terrible. Funnily enough, spoiler: she escapes later, but. They'll put that down to like mysterious, ghostly stuff rather than she's just like, oh fuck, I'm not even really tied here.
Well, right, we'll get to when she escapes, because first, Gunnar appears.
Yeah.
Gunnar the Gunnar. And Gunnar, so there's a knock at the door, and they're like, and Albin's
They're like,
just close this door.
they're like,
And Albin,
right, let's not, it's like they've been caught doing something wrong, and they're like, oh shit, right, I got to get edgy here, because this might be the Rosers here to say there's been a noise complaint, right? Let's smooth out the hair.
Meanwhile,
Hello?
Tova's been like bandaged
Yeah,
with
she
her
needs
lip,
medical
like
attention.
and to be fair, so does Marie.
Yeah.
But no, Albin goes to the door and like does the like really.
May we help you?
Just slip through the door. Make sure you don't see anything. Can I help you, sir?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I know what the fuck's going on. Let me in." And Albin's like, "You've got a gun, so I don't think I really want." And he's like, "Let me in the fucking house." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
You've got a gun, so I don't think you should get in. He's like, let me in the fucking house. I've got a gun.
Yeah, then he's like, "I've got a gun, so let me in."
And then
Albin's
Albin
like,
thinks
"Oh,
of it, and
I
he's
see
like,
your logic."
Yeah. It's smart of me here. Yes, I'll let you in.
So he lets him in, and funnily enough, he's just like, "Right, I know the situation. I'm gonna help you."
Here comes the backstory. Let me explain the whole plot. Two days ago. 2 days ago. Loads of questions. He does explain the whole story basically. 2 days ago, him and his wife and his daughter were here for some kind of hiking, outdoorsy adventure. His wife and his daughter found the house, did the zombie deadite thing. He had to shoot them. Fine.
excuse me, Donald, this story starts back in his childhood with his father telling him about this area.
Yes. Yeah. Also, he happened to know, but still decided to come here, that
on a little holiday.
that there's underground, there's this creature, and he heard if you disturb their lair, then and then his wife might have said something to him while she was dying about it, or his daughter did, or something like that.
Very importantly, his father told him that these creatures, they had the power to take your soul if you look to them in the eyes.
Yeah.
Such a convenient piece of...
Yeah. Yes, all that backstory happens, but really it led me to think, right, okay. 2 days ago he shot his wife, right? Doesn't seem that cop about it. And his daughter doesn't really seem that cop about it, right? And then what happened? Why? He's just hanging around for 2 days. Here. Is he looking for the house? Because if he was looking for the house...
He knew what it was. He knocked on the door. But
even earlier, like, he was there when they arrived. So he saw the house and he saw them arriving. Didn't mention anything to them. Just hung. So he was like, I'll let these people go into this house and see if it's the house. Is that what happened? And if it is the house, what am I doing? I've got to deal with all the people that are going to be all deadited and stuff. I genuinely don't know what his motivation was for hanging around, unless he was trying to kill the creature. But he never mentions that or tries to. So it's pretty,
or meets it.
So it's pretty fucking.
It's downstairs. Really, him and the trapdoor never interact.
Yeah,
I know that sounds weird, but you would think they do. If he's like, I need to solve this.
Yeah,
well, it's in there, pal.
It's amazing that they took what is like the Evil Dead movie, the originals. They've got a great way of setting up the story, which is the heroes or protagonists just listen to an audio recording of an old man explaining exactly what happened. But actually does make sense, but also it's a good way to just get out of the way and carry on with fun, right?
Yeah.
Whereas they've taken that and then given us a protagonist that's still alive, which creates all these problems, like in terms of logic, in terms of what the fuck he's doing there. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And also, he had to have this. He had to have this old knowledge as well, and even though he'd never he was like, it must have been this creature, yeah. I mean, I didn't see the creature myself,
no,
but I'm sure it's blah 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 blah. Like, it's bollocks. Sorry.
Meanwhile, Marcus is upstairs pretending he cares about Tova. A woman he's never, and he's like really cut up about. He's a terrible actor. I'm sorry.
Oh, the crying scene.
Yeah.
My god.
Right, this is. I don't mean it bad. He has never met, and I'm not saying he wouldn't be shook up, but he is sitting at her bedside,
has he never
holding
met her?
her hand.
No, he's never met Simon. He might be pals with her. It's not. It's a moot point. It's a cow's opinion, right? Because he is a shit actor. It's some of the worst acting I've ever seen in a film we've watched.
Spoilers: he gets deadited. He is a much better actor as a deadite. I mean, he's a great deadite.
Marginally better. I mean, he's fine, but honestly, he cannot cry on demand, and they close up tell him that he's going to have to fucking try. So he's
it's really like it honestly gave me the impression that Marcus was like, I might have a chance with this girl when she wakes up, so I'm going to pretend to be sad at her bedside.
It looks like a sociopath's first attempt at trying to cry based on films he's seen. It's genuinely really, really, really bad.
But the reason he's crying, by the way, is Tova's dead.
Yeah.
So he leans in and he listens for, rather than checking for a pulse, he leans in and listens for her breathing and doesn't find it, so he's sad about it.
Wow,
and then
allegedly.
to make himself even sadder and disgusted, he's like, he pulls back the bandage,
just to see her, just look at the wound.
To really just disrespect her dead body, like give her no respect in death at all. He's like, casket. I wonder what killed. And he's literally like, and then he's like, and then she wakes up and like
scratches him. Yeah.
So at that point, So at that point, he goes up. he shouts on everyone to come upstairs, and I don't think there's any spoiler warnings in this one. So they all come upstairs, and he's like, "Get out the fucking way, you little shit!" And Marcus is like, "She's there." So knowing what he needs to do, Gunnar takes his time and sets up his gun, holds it at his
They might as well. She's just standing there,
and then gives her a single shot to the belly. And Tova's really annoyed about that.
Yeah.
It cuts to Tova being really annoyed about that, and it cuts to Gunnar, and he kind of just puts the gun back. And then she runs out the window, and after she's out the window, Gunnar's like, "Oh fuck, I should have shot her again," and just jumps out the window after her.
We need to mention, by the way, just briefly, because I forgot to mention that in Gunnar's telling of the story, he also mentions, have any of you, this is a change from the original, have any of you been scratched
it's the zombie
or
rules.
had blood on you, right? It's zombie rules, it's not the original rules, which was you get possessed by the ghost. The ghost isn't in this.
No.
Ghost
it's the Earth Monster.
all, which is, obviously a bad.
And it's infectious.
Yeah, it's the Earth Monster who she looks at you, you get infected, but then if you scratch someone or bleed on them, you get infected. The blood thing doesn't make a lot of sense because...
We'll get to that. We've got way...
Should we?
So, also one thing we
we'll
forgot to mention
then.
is the Gunnar is like, by the way, that's not Marie. She's dead and you should burn her. And they're all kind of like...
Yeah.
No. Because I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't jump to that step either.
No. I mean, what I would do is call the police, but it takes them a long fucking time to get around to doing that. I think it's after this scene, they're like, oh, fuck, we're supposed to call the police.
There's honestly
like
4 or 5 times where they're like, we should call the police and don't. We should call the police and don't.
I mean, maybe an ambulance as well. Gunnar jumps out, Rambo.
Yeah. So they do. This is the moment they call the police because this is when Simon
because
and
they're going to the cars because
outside.
This isn't actually explained, but it does kind of make sense. The cops, I'm assuming that they don't know exactly where they are. They gave them the road, and the cops said, "Right, can you meet us on the road and we'll come in?"
Because he says
we'll
have two.
They don't actually mention.
He says we'll have 2 people
why.
meet you at the cars.
Yeah. They don't actually explain particularly why, but it makes sense.
And Simon's like...
I'm fucking out of here,
Simon
bitches.
goes, "I'm leaving," and Ida, "You're leaving too," and she's like, "Nah, we should either all leave or all stay." And he's like, "You're fucking coming with me," and tries to drag her.
But they need people to go to the car.
I know. No, this is before the car part. This is like he's just like, we need to get the fuck out of here.
I agree with Simon completely.
No, I know, but it's just the fact that like Simon literally tries to drag Ida away,
Wouldn't you?
and Albin goes, "Hey, stop that!"
Yeah,
and he goes, "Fine."
Honestly, Albin, Jesus Christ, he's the worst. He's so milquetoast.
No, Captain Gap is still the worst.
No, he's not. He is. He is selfish, but he said, I'll go out in the woods. We'll get the police. Fine. He's brave.
He just
and pragmatic.
He's like, I want out here because he's a moody prick. After he doesn't get his leave, everyone leaves.
Well, but everyone should leave. So I would be moody too.
So then him and Linnea go out, and he's like, I'm not going to the fucking cars yet. So he goes around to the shed he knew was there.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
Wait.
What?
How far away were the cars?
So they walk a wee bit. They do say, when they get out the cars, they say they walk a wee bit. I didn't... it's never explained how far.
Why?
And that I don't know.
Yeah. Why did... genuinely, what was the obstacle which prevented them? Why did they...
Because they had to walk through the... That's why they kept walking through the
woods.
woods. That's why they were... because they had to walk through the woods to get to the cars. That's why everyone was going back and forth through the woods.
At the
we'll get into that
point
later.
when the police said, okay, we need people to be at the cars to take us to the house. I mean, genuinely, if I was that position, my thing would be, right, let's all go to the cars. Rather than splitting up, if we need to go to the cars for the police...
Yeah, there's awful decisions all the way around.
Okay.
And everyone takes forever to do anything in this movie.
There's loads of plot holes in this movie, but I didn't even realise... Fuck, they could have just drove away. Like, they're not waiting for the police to rescue them. They're just waiting for the police because they need the police because violence is happening.
The only reasons, I suppose, Marie and Tova are on the loose and hunting you, so maybe you don't consider them friends anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that would be your only impetus to stay, is that you have two friends there.
Okay.
No,
I'm just in this situation, I'm picking up an axe and I'm saying, everyone arm yourselves, get in a circle. We've got torches. We'll leave.
Like, Ali's trying to murder us. He's clearly infected with something.
He's infected with something, but also he's not got strength. In fact, several times they're overpowered. Several times the monsters are overpowered.
Simon just punches them.
In Evil Dead, they do have like super strength to a degree.
Stop comparing it to Evil Dead.
Well, I should. But in this, no. I mean, they can at least pretend to be tied up for a while. Anyway, sorry. I was a massive tangent, but I'd forgotten about the cars, and they didn't even bother to make a reason why they couldn't go to there. They just were like, no, we're scared. The woods,
Friends, but not really. If two of my friends were hunting me, I wouldn't stay.
If it's being explained to me that they're all my friends are already dead, fine. Okay, see you later.
Well, I suppose one of them's already been shot and then jumped out a window.
Yeah,
so...
see you later.
So... Simon and Linnea they're meant to go to the cars, and Simon's like, I know a shed. Don't worry. So he goes...
No. He says, oh, I'm just going to go right here for a bit. He doesn't actually tell her why. Why he do... No, I just want to check this out. I'm just being... Because how did he know the shit? They all just... Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, there's a tool shed.
Only Marie went into the shed at the start, which isn't really...
Yeah.
So they go in, and there's an axe and a shovel.
Yeah.
And he gives her the axe, and Linnea decides that a good thing to do after your friend has called the police and said that there's been an attack is to put your hood up, grab an axe, and run around in the dark. Who do you think the police are going to shoot first?
Oh dear.
So anyway, her and Simon start walking through, and Marie sneezes in her face in a really weird... Like, Linnea is the most useless during the initial Marie attack. She literally stares at Marie, like, the infected Marie, screams in her face, waits for her to sneeze blood on her, and then turns and runs away. So... Simon and Linnea start talking about fucking in the woods.
Oh, baby.
And then like she gets sad and he hugs her, and then they pull away and her eye is all infected, but she's not like not cloudy, just like bloody.
Yeah.
And he is immediately like, you stay off.
Yeah. And then smashes her fucking pan in with a shovel. Brilliant. Hits her over the napper with a big old fucking shovel. It's great.
This is where I find Simon's decision making takes a bit of a right turn, because he stays and starts burying the body.
Yes, that's exactly where. Yes, exactly. That is exactly the moment where they're like, right, we can't let him carry on getting to the cars. We need to come up with weird reasons why.
Because at that moment, I'd be like, okay,
see you later.
I really hope I did the right thing. I'm going to go to the cars, get the police, and come back.
Yeah. He decides instead to bury her alive. Because I don't think she's dead. Now,
No! He acts like she... I was like, right, it'll hurt, but the chances of him killing her are not that great.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's just
bloody
been hit
nose.
across.
Yeah. It's weird because in the trivia for this, they say in the scene where Simon buries Linnea, you can see the actress reacting to the dirt in her face, and I read that and I was like, yeah, because she was alive. I thought that was literally, but then they're like treating it like it was a goof, and I'm like, no, surely she was alive. But
I honestly thought, see when it has the camera shot up of his first. I thought he was murdering her.
Yeah, but
I thought he was like, well, in for a penny and all that.
But you know why this
off.
scene is in this movie, apart from being convenient for the plot for Simon not going to the cars and then not just getting away, is obviously there was the burial scene in Evil Dead 2 was well, actually that's not true. There's burial scenes in both, and they're both done really well, slightly differently. But they've number one, Simon's the protagonist. Simon's the Ash character. So because he's the one doing the burying. And obviously it makes more sense because in the old one, the girl was definitely fucking dead for a bit. Whereas in this, I'm just
He buried her alive.
Yeah, and Ash wasn't going anywhere. Ash was like, oh, cool, I've got away with that. She was a horrible zombie, but I cut her head off. She's definitely dead. I love her. I'm going to bury her. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm really racked with guilt. Oh, no.
This was just, fuck, I hit her with a shovel. Better bury her.
There's another zombo around somewhere. I better take loads of fucking time digging a hole.
Like,
the big
do
hole.
Do you know how... I hope you don't. Do you know how much time it takes to dig a grave?
I've buried a sheep in my time. Even shallowly, it takes ages.
Yeah. Like hour plus, we're talking.
Yeah, ages.
Yeah,
To dig deep enough
there.
to cover complete, like what she basically has.
Arguably enough for a person to turn infected. Fucking wake up.
Oh dear.
So yeah, So we're back at the house, and Albin and Ida are the only two left.
Yeah, the scratchy face pal's gone
Within the house.
Gone at this time.
Oh yeah, Marcus isn't doing well, and he's lying in the thing.
Yeah.
And outside, Gunnar is hunting.
Yes.
Is hunting Tova, I believe.
Yeah.
One of them. One of the gods.
It's not particularly important.
So he's hunting one down, and rather than being careful, he just gets snuck up on in a very Evil Dead-y kind of thing. And then he manages to take one of them out, but gets infected.
Yeah.
So he takes himself into the shed. First of all, after confirming that the one that he's killed is dead, there's this really weird like thumbs up moment.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Is it? I can't remember. Is it him? He hacks one of their heads off with a small knife.
Yeah,
bloodily and viscerally.
Oh, it's so
holds the head up, then thumbs up the people watching from the house.
So
Go on.
So, I don't think this is what the movie was pushing at, and I don't think it's just. But see, at this point, the fact that Gunnar, Albin, Simon, and Marcus, all four of them, the most they had was a scratched neck, which was Marcus.
Yeah.
The gratuitous violence against the women in this movie got a little bit much when this 30-second long scene of him really cutting this head off. And he's like on top of her, like in any other movie.
Lot, yeah.
In any other movie, if you showed this clip out of context, this would be this man is the evil guy in this movie, murdering.
Straddles
this
her and stabs her loads in the torso, which he is aware will not kill her, because nothing kills her. She has to be burnt.
So yeah, it was just a bit much. So, but he holds it up, thumbs up. And then takes himself to the shed and tries to have himself a little sad suicide.
Oh, the piano music. Oh, it's nice.
And the cutting to the flashbacks of.
Oh, it's really bad.
It's really bad.
The soundtrack cannot handle. It uses the same piano thing twice for moments of emotion, and it's pretty terrible.
So he blows his head off.
It's daytime soap style. Yeah, and then he blows a huge fucking hole in his head. Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough, he was going to be a zombie.
Yep. Yeah. And now Marie, I'm going to say it's Marie that's left alive.
I think Marie's alive, yeah.
Because I think it makes sense that Marie would be still alive.
It is Marie, yeah. According to my notes, it is Marie that does the next bit I wrote about.
But she does the most horrifying thing that apparently Albin and Ida have seen so far, and throws a rock through the window.
She also
They're so
I know they are.
like,
They are very scared. I don't know why, but and why she did that, not entirely sure. But she at one point
tormenting them.
smashes her hand through the window to grab Albin's hair.
Yep, no, I've got that.
But she
I've got that as well.
I'm sure she missed first time because the hand.
It takes him.
Yeah,
because I've got the window smashes right behind him, and he makes no reaction.
yeah, and I
Literally
think
no
that's
reaction
because
to it.
the hand comes through.
Was supposed to grab straight on, but they didn't have another pane of safety glass.
Yeah, grabs air and then goes, oh shit. Split a second passes by, grabs again, gets his hair. He goes, ah, because of the hair.
It's awful.
It's really bad.
It's awful.
They did not get away with it. It's very visibly obvious that he's not reacting to it at time.
The window is about like 6 inches from his head.
Yes,
and he's
in frame.
sitting
The window's
forward,
in frame. Yes,
and he just.
he
It's
like,
like
doesn't do anything.
smash, no reaction at all.
He
completely
does not
still.
jump. Yes. It's actually probably harder to stay completely still if that happens as an actor. Because I'm sure your like fight or flight would make you jump internally a little bit at a loud noise behind your head. But anyway.
So Marie throws a rock through the window and Ida gets terrified. Marie breaks into the house and Albin
Oh, it's really
destroys her face.
Smashes the fuck out of her head with that rock.
Like,
pretty good.
It's the gore effects in this movie are excellent. He smashes the head into a pulp.
Yeah.
At which point, I think there was a mix-up on the script because Albin and Ida, the moment that Marcus turns into a deadite, switch roles. And Albin is all of a sudden useless, and Ida's like, right, we need to get out of here. We need to get you up and go. Let's go now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Well, they've switched. That's the switcheroo back because Albin was useless at the start, then starts head smashy, then Ida's like, right, we need to. But then later on, Albin becomes the person again that's like, right, you get upstairs, fucking get back, or whatever. It is confused.
Very, yeah.
At this point, Simon's like, do you know what? I've just buried this woman. Let's go back to the house.
Yeah. I'll just pretend nothing happened.
I'm just going to go back to the house. He turns up. Okay, fair enough. He's shouting but for Ida. But, I mean, that actually blew my mind. I was like, they've literally run out of reasons why they can keep him in the movie. They have to just be like, no, he would go back for some reason. And then...
So upstairs, they get locked in a room.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Albin and Ida get locked in a room. And
kissy.
Marcus.
I think there's a kissy.
Of course, yeah. Of course, there's a kissy. Sorry, if we mention we had it like an hour here. Like if we kissy every mention, we will never get done. It's constant in this movie. It's inappropriate in this movie.
Kissy.
So they're upstairs and they lock themselves in a room.
Yeah, prankster stalking them mostly.
Yeah,
right?
And prankster's outside and decide in a really smart move he phones him to see where he is.
Yeah.
Marcus has the creepiest ringtone.
Yeah.
So he goes, right, fuck it. If he's like,
he's back to action man mode now again.
Yeah, he's back to action man mode. He's got an axe and he's like, if he fucking comes out, if he's there, we'll just fuck him up. So he is there, and they stare at each other.
Yeah, it's really inconsistent what the zomboids will do when they're in front. Like, sometimes they...
It's also really inconsistent what the humans will do.
True. But, I mean, sometimes they'll... Sometimes they act totally mindless. Sometimes they don't at all. And sometimes they talk. Most of the time they don't. Most of them don't talk. But sometimes...
I don't think any of them talk.
I think it's Marie. She talks. She talks when she's tied up. She goes, "Hit me" or whatever. She talks. Why are none of them talking anymore? And as I was writing that, one of them talked, and I think it was Marie again potentially.
So maybe it's only Marie that talks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It is really consistent.
Inconsistent rules all the way through.
Sometimes they act just like zombies, as in they're like.
One good example of that is like Marcus at this scene, like because Albin does nothing when he sees him. He just stares at him and stands still, and then Marcus goes blah and attacks him, and he pushes him off, and they go down the stairs, and he kind of like just falls over like a zombie would, like over the railing onto the stairs.
Oh, you definitely see him look Like, there's a moment where he goes,
Yeah.
and he goes, so that he
But
blocks
the way,
their
do you know
escape.
the way he falls?
But
then the way that Tove jumps out the window in a really nimble, it's nonsense.
Yeah, and sometimes they seem fast and nimble at times, and other times they're just standing there, really.
So they get driven back upstairs because he shit himself.
At this point, I was like, "There's 25 minutes to go. They are fucked. How are they getting out of this situation?" Genuinely, I was like, "Everyone's dead. It could be caught by blood." Which we've still not mentioned yet. They're fucked. What are they going to do?
We're still not mentioned, but mentioned about 50 times.
Well, generally it's just, right, okay, they can get... So what...
We'd mentioned the sneezy face. So at this point, this is when Simon's come back.
First thing that gets said is, are the police with you? What's his answer? No, they're fucking not. Why? That's the first. Ida doesn't say, "Are you all right?" Well, she might even say, but she's like, "Are the?"
No, that would be
Where's
my
the
first
cavalry?
question.
Great, we're saved.
You come back one person less.
Sorry, explain to me why the fuck you haven't brought the police with you. He doesn't. I was wondering if you were all right. I guess.
Yeah, because they don't let him in case he's infected.
Yes,
He's pure banging in the door, being like, "Let me the fuck in."
Yes, that's a good point. That's actually the reason that spoilers. There's no spoilers. He gets his demise happens is because he turns up without the cops, so they assume you must be infected. Yeah,
without Linnea.
So they assume he's infected, and then he gets thrown through the window and eaten, basically.
Because she's like, "Have you brought the police?" And he's like, "Let me the fuck in!" Like,
he's got no.
He gets chucked out the window and eaten slowly.
Interestingly, though, that is proof that they're aware that they talk. Because if they weren't aware they talk, then they would just let them in. So there you go.
I honestly thought I was going to have a nice little chat about this movie and then then say at the end I didn't really like it. But it's become more and more apparent.
Kissy kissy. I think there's more.
Kissy. But yeah, mainly after falling, they managed to just kick their way through
the
a
floor, in a cupboard, because they're trapped.
Despite the fact he's holding an axe.
Yeah, it's basically The Shining. Don't take like other movies. Don't crib from other movies while you're cribbing from a movie. It just looks a bit.
See, the first time the axe comes through, like unlike The Shining, like see the first time that axe comes through, I was like, could I just grab that? Genuinely, it comes through so far that you literally could have yanked that out of the person's...
My first thought was definitely, if I was at such, I would try to get the axe off him or something. Yeah. Anyway.
The bottom bit is, see where you put your hand? Not sharp there.
Yeah. They smash through the floor. Albin falls down, knocked out. Unconscious.
Then in true to fashion...
Oh, wait, not quite. Yeah, not quite.
No, not quite. No, he's not unconscious yet. Because true to fashion, Ida... just stays upstairs for a wee bit, watches the door get smashed through quite a bit, and then eventually at the very last moment jumps through.
Yeah. Then Albin's like, "Get out of here, I'll catch up with you." He's fucked up. And then the Zombo comes through, lands on a chair, which is quite nice.
No, that is a quite nice moment, because I was like...
he kicks the chair, yeah.
Because he's like, he like shuffles over, and like, I was honestly like, what the fuck are you going to do with that? Like, and he flips a stool over and slides it under the thing, and because he knew that going through that hole, you just fall flat, and it just skewers it. And I was like, damn movie, just... every now and again, you got those moments.
And then there's like...
keep me going.
There's like a big splinter in his arm or something. And then he's...
it's like he's broken it or he's landed.
It's definitely not his bone, though, so I'm not sure.
It's weird.
Yeah, and then he's kind of looking at the Zombo, and then he blacks out. And I was like, well, he's fucked.
Yeah.
Because, surely. And then Ida bumps into Simon, who's now Zombo Simon, who decides that he'll be the zombie that... like, he breaks off. He's really malicious as a Deadeye.
Yeah, he's really malicious and like
for some reason,
like specific as a zombie, like thoughtful.
He breaks off a pipe, and then he's just he beats her for a bit,
and then throws the pipe away.
Yeah, but
Then
he's not.
he-
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I honestly thought he was going to like strangle her.
I was hoping. I was worried. Not hoping. I was hoping he wouldn't. I was hoping he wouldn't. I was worried that there was a weird sexual thing happening when he
Yeah.
mounted her and then went right up to her face.
But no, he holds her down and specifically like opens her mouth to vomit blood. So
Yeah.
he has a very deliberate "I'm going to infect you." None of the other zombies have
Yeah.
a deliberate.
Yeah.
Like even
And
when
he
she
seems-
sneezes on
yeah,
the face, it's
yeah.
not a like
Yeah.
"I'm going to get you with." This is a like
Yeah.
I know how this works and I'm going to
Yeah,
make you
and
one of
he's-
us.
and he seems to be smirking a lot. Like,
Yeah.
it's very odd. I don't know why. I mean, he was. I know that he's an asshole, but he was also. He was the hero for fucking 50 minutes. He was
never
the hero for 50 minutes.
He was the hero. Never.
He was the Ash because he had specific scenes that were like Ash.
No, they just split the right. We'll get into right.
No, I'm serious.
Fuck that. No, you're right. I'll pick that apart once we were almost near that. We're close to spoilers. We're close to the end.
There's no spoilers. Albin wakes up, and in the time that he was unconscious, Stool Zombo has done
he's got to his feet.
fuck all.
I really would have liked to have actually just seen that live of him going
Yeah.
rolling back and forth trying to get purchased.
So remember that Simon's arms hurt. Well, he runs about for a bit, finds a sledgehammer, and fucking bashes the thing's head in with a sledgehammer with both arms, and then remembers his arm's sore and goes back to owie.
Yeah, because he then immediately runs into Simon and doesn't hit him with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, why?
He just runs.
Yeah.
He runs away and then he runs to the shed and he literally just goes, "A gun!" and picks it up.
Bang!
Yeah. And in a real fucking Evil Dead shot, it zooms the camera to the end of the gun.
Yeah.
Like, like anytime Ash
Yeah.
shot. And shows this like really CGI hole in the head, Simon looking through him before he collapses.
Yeah. Oh, no, I thought it was pretty all right. But
The shot, fine.
was there only
I'll get
one bullet in that gun? Because he did open the chamber, but
I think he was just checking if there's ammo.
Right, okay.
He's just checking if it's loaded.
Well, that doesn't make
That's all
sense.
it
He
is.
shoots one shot, then drops it.
Yeah.
And at first I was like,
Yeah,
why?
he does,
And then I was
Donald.
like, fuck, was there only one bullet? I didn't notice.
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
No.
Cool.
I mean, well, not explicitly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, not explicitly shit him out of
Yeah.
ammo or
Yeah.
one bullet.
Yeah.
Or, looks into his palm and sees two bullets and does the John McClane
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. To be fair, yes.
That stupid John McClane face. Whenever he's thinking, he just looks like a muppet. But yeah, there's a lot of Guns and Police would have solved this movie,
Yeah.
and they couldn't figure out how to not allow Guns and Police to solve this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Because the same is like that guy's a hunter. He shot Tova once,
Yeah.
and then just stopped shooting her,
Yeah.
and then went, "Oh shit!" and chased
Yeah.
her. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah. Right. Meanwhile, Ida's now infected, but her eyes aren't white.
Yeah, and she's kind of
She's got bloody eyes, but she's a shambler. Doesn't talk.
No, I think so. I think this is her like dying.
Right.
And again, I don't think it's particularly well done. And she, it's basically like 3 times like it's like this sad moment where Albin and
music.
Ida. Yeah, and he goes into the bathroom and he cries and
Yeah.
he comes back and he thinks she's infected. But then she's not. And she's got a bit of humanity left in her. And she's walking and she says his name. And then she goes a bit mental. And then and it's awful. It's just, it's like literally like the fake out like 3
Yeah.
times. And it's meant to be this like she's losing her humanity. She's slowly turning. And this is a couple that have
Yeah.
been torn. They'll no longer have the kissy kiss.
So he knows he has to kill her. There's a gun. He could use the gun. He could do a lot of things, I guess.
So many things.
What's the...
She offers her neck.
Yeah.
Right, I am convinced she offers her neck and she's like, can you...
Yeah,
could
there's
you
a bit of a
just-
struggle.
You've got a
Yeah,
screwdriver in your hand?
yeah. There's a bit of a
you just literally...
there's a bit of a struggle, and he kind of throws her like away,
Onto a
pushes her away
table,
onto a
yeah.
table, and either she's offering her neck or she's literally just lying there doing absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah, either way. But literally, she's on her front, looks up at him,
Yeah.
and then just looks back down, neck nice and exposed,
Yeah.
and he's holding
Yeah.
a knife or a screwdriver, and it's like,
he's decided, right, I'm going to do this nicely and humanely. I don't want her to suffer. So how, pray tell, Alistair, does Albin decide that
oh, what? No, you're
to put Ida out of...
angry.
Okay. Well, he
Too
decided...
angry.
That's the best thing to do would be to... She's prostrate on the floor and he dumps a bookcase on top of her, smashing her into bits, basically. Just a really heavy bookcase. Smash. She's probably dead. Her arm's out there. It's not moving. She's probably dead.
And by the way, this bookcase is flush to the floor.
Oh, yeah. She is pulverized. She's pulverized. It must weigh 2 tons. She is fucking pulverized. I mean, never mind the fact that Gunnar told them that the only way to kill these things is really fire, which he doesn't bother to do. It's a bit of a
No
pain
one
in the
bothers
arse.
with fire.
Bit of a pain in the arse.
So,
And then you think, right, movie's over.
movie's over.
Oh, yes, Simon got shot. Movie's over. And then
Yeah,
he's
movie's
like,
over, and then you're like, wait, how did they all get infected in the... Ah, shit. Earth monster.
well,
But what does Simon remember? But what does Simon remember?
Alvin.
Yeah, sorry. But
No,
what does
but how did
Albin remember?
But
What
he
was the
got
bit?
into this scenario because he went into the cellar in the first place. He could have
No,
just...
he didn't.
He
No,
did.
didn't. No, sorry, you are right, but you're also wrong. What he does is he looks at the sailor after killing his
Oh, he
everyone in
opens
his
it and then shuts it.
all
Yeah,
of his
yeah,
friends. All of his friends are dead,
Yeah.
and he decides the best thing to do is to walk over to the sailor, open it,
I think he
and then close
yeah,
it.
he hears a little rustling underground or something. Gunnar's told
Yeah,
him
that's
the
why
story.
he closes it because he hears
yeah.
something coming.
Gunnar's told him the story that it's these creatures come from underground, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and then here's monster. And the monster looks really good except for the teeth. The teeth are a bit Buffy the Vampire
didn't mind it.
Slayer. I didn't mind it the first time you see
If
her,
it
but the
bit
second
anything,
time
I would have. If it bit anything, I would have probably noticed it more. But I thought as just a menacing. But what does Albin remember?
you need to look it in the eyes. So
No, you don't need to never look it in the eyes.
yeah, that's the one. Well, I
God.
would have died. So
That's why he constantly avoids its gaze.
yeah,
and looks at it
he
through the reflection.
He turns the light off and stuff, and this thing's
And
just
he's-
kind of
yeah.
wandering about. It doesn't.
I'm like, is it deaf?
Yeah, it was really weird. He turns
Because
it-
he goes into a cupboard and
rummaging.
makes
yeah,
so much
but this
noise.
but this thing, it's like it's deaf mute or no, deaf blind or something. Like I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
it's really weird. It's like
Yeah.
it needs light, which kind of makes sense because the cellar did have the light on and stuff, and maybe that's what awoken it.
It can
was-
only see eyes.
maybe
it can only, it does the whole
Albin's- yeah.
because when he opens his eyes at one point, it's like looking out the door.
Yeah.
And as it turns its head, it's as the whites start appearing that he shuts his eyes again.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's kind of I don't know, but
I don't know. It
but
makes no sense.
was it like dormant until Albin's dad turned the electricity on ahead of their trip? But that was 2 days ago. But I don't know, maybe because the light's on and it seems to need the light to be able to do anything at all.
I think you are giving this movie
I don't know.
too much credit.
There's a slight problem with monster that needs the light on to work. It's not the most menacing. It's kind
No,
of
have you not seen that terrifying horror movie Lights On?
yeah, exactly. It's a bit all right. Okay.
So, and in the conclusion,
He stabs it.
Yeah, he just stabs it.
Yeah, it's just-
it walks
Yeah,
towards him,
slowly,
and he just stabs
unmenacingly.
him.
Yeah, just bang,
Stab.
knife. Yeah.
But not only, but then it's like, you stabbed me, and collapses on the floor.
Yeah.
So he remembers the best way to kill things, and he fucking squishes it.
Yeah, done.
And as he's looking at the squished monster, he has one sad look at his squished girlfriend in the other room. Oh,
There you go.
so that's Wither.
That's Wither.
And for context, the title makes no sense.
No, it does. It does.
So the Swedish title
Oh,
is Vitra,
yeah, it's a monster. Swedish
which
word
is
for
the
wither.
name of the
Yeah.
Oh, is that actually? I just knew it was the name of the monster.
Well, allegedly it's a Swedish word for wither. I didn't fact check that. Let's talk about the monster for a second. So the creature is a vitra, which they briefly fucking mention, right? And they are.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think the word's ever used.
I think vitra may be used once in passing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But vitra or vitror, plural. Who do live underground. That's where the similarities basically end. They're invisible most of the time, and they're mostly known for cattle herding. Their cattle are also invisible. They are fearsome if you enrage them, if you don't respect them properly. So if you don't say look out when putting out hot water or pissing, so they can move out the way because they're invisible. Or there's actually another similarity. If you build your house on top of their home, disturbing their cattle or blocking their roads, they get very irate. Which is the house seems to have been built on top of a
weird pathway,
the
roads,
the Vitra's thing. Yeah, so they don't exactly look. They kind of. I mean, in images I've seen, they kind of just look like garden gnomes riding cows. They're really small.
Well, to be fair, according to Wikipedia, a vitra is a type of vater, a type of gnome.
Yeah. They're very gnomish, and they're mostly just experts at milking both their own cows and men's cows. So,
men being the race of man, not specifically. We don't do women's cows. Sorry.
I'm just quite sad that the cattle angle was not at all explored. Really?
Did you not hear that? See when he opens it at the end, you just hear.
I think it's also quite weird that they're invisible. They're invisible doesn't come up. They're not invisible. Apparently,
they're not. In fact, they need the light.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Donald, what did you think of this movie?
Yeah, pretty gash, wasn't it? But I mean.
So my biggest problem. What did you think of it?
I know.
I'm going to talk.
It was interrupting me. I said pretty gash, wasn't it? I wasn't finished.
You were finished. So my biggest issue with it is it had no idea what it actually wanted to be. It didn't know whether it wanted to be like goofy and play off of what the original Evil Dead was. It didn't know if it wanted to be what the American remake of Evil Dead was, and that I really enjoyed the American remake of Evil Dead. It's a very different movie, but plays on what Evil Dead was quite well. And it doesn't know if it just wants to be a Swedish folklore zombie, its own thing movie. And it mixes all of these up.
Remember, it's not a remake, so it can't actually completely copy.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem.
Well, I think they still wanted to be Evil Dead, but they're like, right, we can't do the Necronomicon. What do we have in our cupboard of Swedish folklore? The gnomes. They just crammed that on top. I think it was definitely po-faced, which interestingly, it just reminded me of the American remake, because I feel like they both chucked out the humor in terms of trying to be more grisly.
They did, but there are too many moments in this movie where they try to put in little. So
I didn't think that.
So for me, the biggest offenders were Marcus in general.
Yeah.
But more egregiously is the thumbs up.
That's the only point. Yeah, that's the only point for me.
And the gun. See when Simon gets shot.
Yeah.
It just felt so out of place.
I don't know.
From the rest of the way the movie's shot, the way the effects are done, the way that everything, it's the full on.
I didn't find the Simon Gunn thing. I didn't think it was dark humor or anything. I think the thumb. It is kind of weird.
I didn't think it was dark humor, but I felt it was lighter and more akin to something from original Evil Dead that didn't fit this movie.
Oh, I think there's loads of things. Well, they also do the thing where the zombos in this play dead and stuff, which is a pretty famous Evil Dead trope. They do a lot of tropes of Evil Dead, but...
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. it was a movie of three different styles, three different parts, like
Yeah.
that they wanted it to be, and none of them meshed together.
That's not even my problem with it at all. I genuinely, I was quite interested because this came out the year before the American Evil Dead remake, and they both looked at Evil Dead and went, right, if we're getting rid of the style and we're getting rid of Bruce Campbell, what the fuck are we keeping? And it was like, right, let's just make it really, like, okay, the originals were disgusting, but they were a bit, let's really make it disgusting as fuck. Let's really make it gruesome.
Oh yeah, by
and
the end of this
grisly.
movie, everyone is drenched in blood.
Which they are in the originals, but they didn't have the menace, I guess. I don't know. It's not quite as gross.
Realism to a certain extent.
Yeah. Which is what they decided to keep. I think they both decided to keep. What do I think of this movie? Fuck you.
What do you think of this movie?
At first I was like...
Who gives a fuck?
At first I was like, right, okay, they're going for like an ugly camera style, but I think it's deliberate. The framing and like the grain and the color grading.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say the thing I found both weird and possibly neat if it was meant. So the thing we didn't mention was in the very opening, it's Gunnar's story, the very end of it, where he shoots his wife who is murdering his daughter.
Yeah.
And it's raining out. It's raining as he's doing this, but the rain seems to give the picture this kind of grainy effect. Because I was looking really closely, and it's not. I don't think it is a grainy footage effect. I think it is the rain.
I bet that's not on
But
purpose.
with the color filter, it looked more like.
Well, at first I was like, they're going for, right, the framing of the shot's a bit off, but they're probably, I think they're doing that on purpose. But then there was a couple of scenes that were out of focus, and I was like, less confident this is all completely deliberate. And then there was a Dutch angle, and I was like, oh, fuck it out.
Yeah, the Dutch angle was, what was that about? One thing I'll give it huge credit for was the opening sequence. The art, it's just weird, creepy art, and it's really cool.
I find it actually genuinely a little bit creepy near the end when it was basically like, oh fuck, like what are they gonna do now? I was a bit creepy for a bit. Like it was pretty a bit like that monster coming out of the cellar. That was pretty creepy. I didn't really like that. That kind of always touched on my The Grudge style thing where I'm like, ugh, get away from me. It was a bit. So yeah, that was all right. If the music was better, which it is shit.
Yeah,
and the plot was the plot's a real letdown because God,
there's suspension of disbelief,
Yeah, I know.
and there's
I
people
know.
making bad decisions.
Yeah.
I know I've joked about the way that characters react in this movie, but it is awful.
It's really
It's
you
so
really
bad.
cannot
People stand still.
You really
before
can't
making any decision.
You can't
for
ignore
several
it.
Seconds.
Like, and I'm pretty good at suspension of disbelief.
I love
these things
like,
don't usually bother me, and even little plot holes. I'm like, just live in the moment of the movie. I genuinely am very good at just whatever, and then just going with the flow. But this movie is so fucking bad for it, really bad for it.
Yeah,
That's the main problem. Like the gore is the saving goddamn grace. My God.
yeah,
because the gore is really good.
Gordon makeup is fantastic.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, but what does it get in your out of 10?
Probably. Oh, is it sinking to a? Well, it's tricky because I still enjoy it. I may as well mention it. I also saw Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell, aka the Japanese Evil Dead, which was released which was a movie filmed in 1995 on a budget that we could probably come up with, but then not released for about 15 years, and it is hilarious because it is much more a complete straight up rip send up of Evil Dead 2 as much as they could have done. Like the guy in it is wearing the Ash costume but does the eyebrow a bit and stuff like that, the raised eyebrow and stuff, and they try as best they can to proxy effects. Like there's the chopped off hand is in it, but in this movie they twist it a bit and it's like a deadite that they've chopped up, so then the hand has a foot attached and the foot like launches through the air and hits Ash in the face and stuff, and then he's fighting the foot hand and stuff. And like the effect is like someone's hand with a foot prosthetic attached to it, scampering along the floor, but they have to keep the angle just right, 'cause otherwise you'll see the dude's arm. It's hilarious. It's very funny. It's kind of like if you've ever seen those like home movies where like teens recreate their favorite movie for fuck all money just for fun. Like a lot of people, I think a lot of American kids did that back when like Super 8 was a big thing, lots of old and stuff.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, is over here we never had
that craze at
like,
all.
see, if you had a video camera here, you were rich. Like, no, genuine, like 80s, 90s.
Video cameras weren't
even
for playing.
2000s?
Kids didn't play with video cameras. Parents kept that shit locked up. Whereas a lot of like big movie makers in America seem to have got their start. I mean, doing these homebrew movies and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, well, while my mum was working her second shift at the hospital, I would be out making movies, and I'm like, where did they get the money for that camera?
I just remembered that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell used to make movies when they were teens, when they would recreate. The fucking the what was the name of that shit American comedy troupe where there was slapstick? There was three of them. The
Three Stooges.
Three Stooges. That's the one. Yeah. Fuck, that's weird that they did that. Anyway, yeah, and it's as good as they could get a remake of Evil Dead 2 right up until when the bodybuilding comes into it, but otherwise.
What would you give this movie?
Well, I was just going to say, that's why I mentioned Bloody Muscle, Bodybuilder, and Hell. I enjoyed that film because it's funny as somebody who really likes Evil Dead to look at these references and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I kind of got a bit of... It was kind of fun to see this movie and see the references and stuff. I wasn't like one of these fans who was like, oh my God, how could they do this? I mean, Albin's wearing Ash's costume as well. Stuff like that. Like, there's less obvious things. So, I'd have to be a 5 because a 6 means it's good, and it's not. So 5 is the highest thing I could give it, where I'm not saying it's good. So I guess a 5 out of 10.
I think, like, I honestly was on a 5 coming into this, and I think coming out of it, like, as in like this podcast, not
then
the
discussing
movie.
and thinking about it more. Yeah.
It's a 4.
Yeah.
Because
it's not good.
No, but I just feel that I really there.
It literally has. If you're playing the film issues bingo, this gets a house or whatever. There's moments of terrible.
I think it's called a bingo.
No, is house not the better thing or something? What's house then? I thought there's a.
I think he's a doctor who's curmudgeonly and has a cane.
Fuck that. Well, actually, that's not true. I played bingo once. I think you were there. Right, so it's got really bad acting, bad sound editing, bad film editing, bad stunt work, bad plotting. And literally it covers everything.
Makeup is the only one.
Makeup, yeah. I think makeup's the only thing.
Bad CGI.
Although, actually, that's not true because there's a point later on where Albin is crying looking at Ida when he's going to kill her. And his eyes are welling up with tears, but there's already a tear track, and I think that's because it was not the first take and they'd not noticed because he wasn't crying at the start of the shot. So actually, fuck you.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that one moment ruins all the makeup.
So what I would say was you should watch Bloody Muscle, Bodybuilder, and Hell because it's only 60 minutes long. These movies are both on Prime or Shudder. Never sure which because Prime and Shudder are linked where we are. Watch Bloody Muscle, Bodybuilder, and Hell if you want a funny, low-budget send-up of Evil Dead.
And where we are is Sweden.
Yeah, not Japan. No,
what America?
Well, yeah. What?
It's just it has too many failings and it's nods and it's genuine passion for the Evil Dead doesn't make it.
Yeah, whoa! I'm not even gonna let you say that for sure because I'm not sure.
What?
I don't know if it's passion. I'm not sure if it's passion or if they were just like, fuck it.
If it is or isn't, like, that stuff is not enough for it to become any sort of recommend from me.
Yeah.
I would say, watch Muscle Body Hellbuilders and
Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder and Hell.
Yeah.
The Japanese Evil Dead.
I would say watch the American remake of Evil Dead.
Just watch Evil Dead.
Yeah, just watch Evil Dead.
No,
but if you're wanting an actual horror movie, and by serious and big, because this one isn't funny.
No, it's not.
Like, they try again. There's like two or three bits.
We disagree on how much they're trying to be funny, but it's not funny.
Yeah,
regardless.
Yeah, it's either none or bare minimum is the things we're arguing over. So I would definitely say go and watch the American remake of Evil Dead, because that is a good, genuine attempt to bring the Evil Dead into a serious, straight horror movie.
Yeah. And it's official. And it had Sam
it's
Raimi's
90 minutes.
blessing.
And it's
Is
90
it only 90
minutes.
Wow.
It's 90 minutes. It's like 97. But considering
fair
movies these days, it's not like blast through that.
Oh, dear.
Well, thankfully you haven't noticed that I've thrown the fish out the window. So let's get this show on the road. Where are we heading next?
Next up, we're going to Finland. Their horror slasher, right? Bodom or Bodom? Children of
I'm interchangeable.
Bodom or Bodom?
When I was younger, I said Bodom,
Bodom.
but I'd heard it was Bodom.
Right, it's Bodom, or also known as Lake Bodom, from 2016, directed by Telly Mustin, and I think it's Lake Bodom is famous for a series of murders. Yeah, this movie's not about those murders, and I hear that it might get a bit twisty, might play with the form a little bit in terms of a slasher movie. Not sure. Oh, I found the can. Right, let's dig into this surströmming. Oh,
No,
I hear it's
Donald,
got quite the aroma to it.
no,
Let's get the can
no.
on it. Oh, God!